Hello, and good afternoon to today's episode of Speaking the Truth About Money with Martin Cowart and Joy the Wise Woman. I am both Martin Cowart and Joy the Wise Woman. Martin Cowart is my human name, and Joy the Wise Woman is the name of my spirit. And I'm so excited today to be on here with just Joy the Wise Woman, because she's got a lot she wants to share with you today, because Martin has discovered a lot over the last 2 weeks. With Joy's guidance, step by step of the way, I just launched a creative masterpiece. Together, we created a 9-day journey into the heart with a number of beautiful queer African people and a number of queer Westerners and some allies. And every day I was able to get Martin out of the way, which he graciously did. Joy the Wise Woman was able to guide us through a absolutely magical journey into our hearts. And this is what we discovered. All of us discovered. We are so much more than we thought we are. We're not who we imagined ourselves to be. We're much more powerful, much more creative than that. We also discovered we have a mission in the world. We have a purpose that comes from our heart, that we're here. So knowing that we're much more powerful than we are, and that we're created for a life's purpose, it gives us a sense of hope for tomorrow. And we also learned how to unlock that gate. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today, because when we unlock that gate to infinite potential, everything changes in our world. Because you see, here's the thing. The field of infinite potential, or the quantum field, or the kingdom of heaven, or whatever it is you want to call this field that lies beyond the mind, is always present. It's never not here, or we wouldn't be here. It is the presence that's holding everything in the universe together. And the thing is, that is what we are. That is the life force within us that I call Joy the Wise Woman. We all have a Joy the Wise Woman within us to lead us and guide us. And there's a couple of things of ahas that I learned that I'm changing going forward. The first one is how much joy I had. We had a straight white woman in our container, in our group, and I learned so much from her. But here's the real thing I learned, is how much we need to include everybody in the work that I'm doing. So I'm changing going forward all of my programs to be fully inclusive of all of the LGBTQI community, plus our allies. Men, women, straight, gay, African, Western, everybody is welcome into the kingdom of heaven. Everyone is welcome into this space of infinite potential. Anything else was completely incongruent is the right word. Anything else would be incongruent with my values and what I teach. So I'm so excited to announce that as of today, as of this week, I am opening up to a larger audience, because we need them. We need them to move forward. The other thing that I learned in this workshop was that while I had exactly the right people there energetically on the Western side and on the Eastern side for this journey into heart space, the program that I had to move us forward, my 12-month coaching program, was not the right program for this group of people. It did not serve that purpose. One, it was way too expensive for most people on the Western side to afford. They just don't have the money right now. So the leap was way too big. But that wasn't the biggest thing. Also, the content of the 12-month group coaching program is not exactly what is needed either. So the aha for me was, oh, goody. If I look into that field, this is what the field of infinite potential showed me. What we're going to do is we're going to create a whole new program for the financial heart space menu. Entirely new program designed specifically by the people who are in the program. You're going to tell me, they're going to tell me exactly what they need to have, exactly what the container needs to look like over the next 12 months. It's going to be a 12-month program with a 3-month exit. It's always got to be a 12-month program. That's one of the rules. It's going to have very few rules, which I'll tell you in a second. But I'm just so excited to get out of the way and see, oh, this is what the field of potential is showing me to go forward. We got to create something altogether new. And that's very, very exciting. So for all those members, all those participants, all 69 people who registered, I'm going to be reaching out to you to invite you into conversation with me to design a brand new program for financial heart space so that we can move every single person on that journey forward. That's my goal, is to have 100% participation in this new program. So we're going to move every single obstacle out of your way so you can design it exactly the way you want it to meet your needs. There's only going to be a very, very few ground rules in this new creation we haven't created yet. One, it's got to come from this creative genius within ourselves. It's got to come from the heart. It's got to be designed from the heart. It's got to be a triple win. It's got to be a triple win, meaning it's got to win for you, it's got to win for me, and it's got to win for the universe. That's it. So I'm really excited to tell you that is my aha for the week, and I'm really, really excited about it. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about another awareness that I got from the week. But let me tell you, my intention for this is to bring Westerners and Africans together to get the same transformational experience that I got when I went to Africa and met Abbahenry in November. Because what I discovered was it's the Africans that are leading us into heart space. They're already in heart space. The night I met Abba, and he read a short passage from a book, Eckhart Tolle's book, A New Earth. He's like, when was this written? This is happening right now. He was already when I was there to think I was going to show him where to go, what to do. It's kind of like that wonderful book that Barbara Kingsolver wrote many years ago called The Poisonwood Bible, where these white Christian evangelists went to Africa to, I guess, teach them about God. And it was just a whole litany of things where the Africans were teaching them. They knew more about God than they do. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to tell you. The African people, particularly the African weird people, are far, far, far further along into moving this world into higher levels of consciousness, into this new world order of unconditional love than we are in the Western world. So the purpose of me having this workshop was much bigger than just getting you into a program. It was to expose you to this higher level of consciousness I'm going to call the unconditional love of the world, and allow the Africans to pull you into it the way they pulled me into it. Wonderful, wonderful. And most of you there got that. But the problem was, because this is the thing about manifesting. We're going to get to manifesting in a minute. How do we manifest stuff? Because there's a lot of misunderstanding about manifesting and the law of attraction. You got to clear the mind. You got to clear the mind of the shadows. You got to what we call in Christian mysticism, you got to go through a process called metanoia, where you completely empty yourself, completely become, as the Buddhists say, nothingness, so you can create something brand new. You can't create something on top of something already else because it's already been created. You have to move their expectation out of your field of consciousness in order to create it, because it hasn't been created yet. Stay with me. I know that's a little complicated, but let me give you an example. After meeting Abba, I realized that there is a cloud of shadow over the Western culture, and that is our narcissism. That mantra we live in is what's in it for me. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I lived in it for most of my life. And I had a lot of wonderful agendas that were for the betterment of the world. My whole coaching practice was built on this idea of what can I teach people for the betterment of the world. But there was always an attachment because it was my agenda. Because there was something in it that says, what's in it for me? Okay. So I couldn't even see sometimes the opportunities in front of me with that selfish agenda, that selfish mantra. But what I've learned is if I've shifted that mantra just so slightly, if I do what I call mining the shadow, mining the gold in the shadow, finding the gold in ourselves inside the shadow. You don't go around it. You actually go into the shadow to find the gold. And when I looked into that shadow and saw, oh, that's my part of me, that narcissistic part of me that's somewhat selfish, is always looking at what's in it for me. But there's something deeper inside that. There's a deeper truth inside of that. And that is a little bit different mantra. And that is the mantra of the future. And that mantra is like this. What's in it for you, me, and the rest of the world? It's like this new program that I want to put together. Create something that's good for you, me, and the rest of the world. So just imagine how different our world would be today if all of us on the Western side shifted our mantra ever so slightly from what's in it for me to what's in it for you, me, and the universe. Just think about that for a second. And I encourage you, no one likes to look at their own shadows. No one likes to look at their own stuff. But once you have the courage to see that in yourself and see how that's impacting your life, you might be willing to consider a new mantra that will really give you the power to make the kind of impact on the world you're looking to make, because it removes your selfishness from it. It takes your own personal, as lofty as our agendas are, and I know where they are because we all have them. We're all beautiful, wonderful, loving, queer people trying to make the world better. But if it's got a little thread of my personal agenda, it's not serving a higher purpose. So if we shed that, and I have to do it every single day, by the way, because yesterday's agenda is no longer valid. It was valid with yesterday's energy in the universe. The energy has completely changed in the last 24 hours. And I have to have a practice every day where I surrender yesterday's agenda, metanoia, empty everything out from yesterday that Joy and Martin created, excuse me, to create space for today's agenda. And so if I create space for today's magic, today's creative process to take place, excuse me, then I have created space with that North Star, with my mission to create a world of abundance and prosperity by showing up with love and gratitude so that joy can do her thing, I have to do that daily. I have to stop every single morning and say, okay, Joy, and I don't go through that. What are we doing? What magic are we going to do today? Yesterday was yesterday. We did so much fun. We had a great time, but that was yesterday. What is the magic we're going to do today? And if I move that old mantra of not what are we going to do that's what's in it for me, but what's in it for me after what's in it for you. Let's start with you. Let's start with the other. What's in it for you? If we're going to perform a miracle today, what's in it for you? What's in it for me? And what's in it for the universe? So if you really want to become a manifester of things, a creator of the future, you've got to be able to one, see your shadow, see that narcissistic part of yourself that you don't like so much, those parts of our shadows, those parts of ourselves we hide, repress, and like we don't like them. I don't like my narcissistic characteristics. But they're there, and they're there for a reason. They're there to point me to a deeper truth of myself, that I love and I care for people. And if I love and care for people, going through that shadow to find the gold, I can come up with a new mantra that says, what's in it for you, what's in it for me, and what's in it for the rest of the world. What are we going to do today, Joy, that's going to change the world for everybody? What are we going to do today to create a world of abundance and prosperity for everybody? What kind of new program are we going to create with this group that's going to benefit everybody in the container? You see the difference? Everything starts out with a very noble agenda. I'm not suggesting that what we're doing is not good. It is wonderful stuff. It is when we learn to lead from the heart, when we begin to trust in that heart space for that creative energy to create something brand new and fresh we've never created before. Everything is different. Hello there, Abbahenry. It is just a joy for you to check in here and say, hey, hello. Do you have any questions for me today? Abba is my virtual assistant. He's also my partner, a business partner, and just he's the guy that helped me see the truth when I went to Africa in November and met him. And he showed me that the African people is much more, has moved much further on the evolutionary process than the Westerners as far as creating this new world of unconditional love and kindness to the planet. Because in spite of all the conditions in which they live in externally, their hearts are huge, huge. So I'm always grateful for Abba in my own divine intuition for bringing us together so that he could show me what heart space looks like, because it moved me into a third level of my being. After meeting Abba, I moved into what I would call the third stage of my life, where I'm truly living in that kingdom of heaven called unconditional love. And it's a wonderful place to live. And that's what I'm inviting everybody into. And that's why where I had this workshop. I want to invite other people on the Western side to meet the Abbas and the other. I haven't met an African person yet that doesn't have this, by the way. They might have a lot of stuff in their way, but in their heart, they are the most beautiful, loving people I've ever met. And they're going to lead this world into this new world order. And I'm helping us get there. That is my intention. We're all working on this same mission to create a world of abundance and prosperity for everyone to live in. And if we're willing to let go of our own agendas and move out of the way, those roadblocks that might be standing in our way from seeing the opportunities for building this new way of doing things, we've got a great ride ahead of us. I can tell you right now, since I have met my queer brothers and sisters in Africa, my life has moved into a wildly exciting place. And I want that for you. I want that for people who listen, people who come into my programs. And that is exactly why I'm going to shift and create a brand new program for the container to bring these two communities together, because it's just too important. It's so much bigger than me and you. And that's exciting. So if you're listening, and even if you weren't part of that program and you are interested in this conversation, send me a direct message and contact me. I'm open to all sorts. You might be the next opportunity in front of me that I'm looking for, that I haven't found yet. So if you're hearing me talk about this and you're interested in what we're trying to do here, which is to create a world of unconditional love, create a world out of unconditional love where everybody can enjoy life and thrive and prosper, and you want to be part of this movement, send me a direct message. I got a place for you. That's what we're looking for. And right now it's LGBTQ plus. And I'm so excited to now have a program that just really aligned. I always felt a little strange about having something there was a reason why I was doing. I didn't think I was capable. But I learned this past 9 days that it just, of course I'm capable. I am the creative, I have the creative power of the universe inside me. That's Joy the Wise Woman. Martin may not be capable. That was my problem. But Joy the Wise Woman, there's nobody that she can't welcome into the kingdom of heaven, or into heart space, into infinite potential. And Juliet here, who is saying it was an amazing journey with you. It was an amazing journey with you too, Juliet. Juliet was one of our scholarship winners. We gave out 2 scholarships into my old 12-month. And I'm going to continue I think my 12-month group coaching program is a great coaching program for the right people. It just was not the right program for this group. And I'm glad that I had the awareness of that, and the universe showed me that, so we can course correct and create something that is. I have a sense that what we create out of this, Juliet, is going to be much bigger and much more exciting and much more effective and more powerful than anything that Martin could have come up with in the past. So I'm very, very excited about moving that forward. So I just want to go back and say something about manifesting one more time. It's real. We are creators. It is in our nature. It is our essence. But we cannot create with our minds full of anything. We cannot do anything. So if you're thinking you're going to go manifest a Mercedes in your driveway, which is what a lot of that nonsense is about the law of attraction. If you want something, think positive and you'll get it. That's nonsense. I think it's nonsense. It's never worked for me. But what works for me 100% of the time is when I get out of my head and open up my heart, and I ask the universe what it is we need to serve this world in my mission of service. She always comes through 100% of the time. And I just manifested, and I'm having a ball. I manifest every day. I didn't even like that word because it had this kind of corniness to it that I couldn't stand, but I started using it because it's popular. And that's the word people like to use today. It's like energy. We used to use spirit. Now we use energy. You know, we can explain things in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration instead of in spiritual and terms that turn people off and God and all that kind of stuff. Then it's a lot easier because people aren't stuck in their head with a story. Because everybody can understand energy, frequency, and vibration. So, yeah. Thank you, LinkedIn user. I love you too, whoever you are. Thank you so much for saying we love you, Martin. Manifest it, baby. Yeah, let's do it. Let's co-create. Let's everybody join us in this movement to create a world of abundance and prosperity for everyone. Let's manifest that. And let's just try. My invitation is to you for 30 days. Just try catching yourself when you're thinking, what's in it for me? And make a slight shift. Okay, somebody is presenting something to me. What's in it for you? What's in it for me? And what's in it for the universe? And you will find a tremendous shift in your creative powers. what I like to call our queer creative superpowers. So thank you so much. I can't believe this has gone by in 30 minutes already, but I always like to honor my time schedule and be done within the 30 minutes. So I'm going to sign out now, and thank you so much for listening to me today. If you're listening to the podcast, please register and come sign up and join our Facebook group, which is called Financial Heart Space for LGBTQ plus business leaders and change agents. And if that's you, come over and join us. We're doing some great things. We're changing the world. We're creating a world of abundance and prosperity for everyone. So thank you so much. And thank you so much for being here. And may love and prosperity prevail.